You know him. You worked with him. What is going on here?
I mean, this is just typical him trying to deflect and get people to just pay attention to him. Honestly, this is what he does. He distracts people. You said it best. He has no idea what's going on. So he's going to continue to play the victim and fundraise and take advantage of the people who really, really believe in him.
Well, that's the sad thing, though. It's because he's raised a lot of money off of this, especially since last week when he said it's going to happen on Tuesday, and now it has been dropped. He is continuing to raise money here and using people who, believe him to get their money. I mean, why do they continue to believe him when he has no evidence of any of it, but his pockets are getting heavier?
As somebody who worked for him and believed in him for a while, I think that there are still so many people out there who see him as a regular person, and it's like a brainwashing. I can't even describe it to you. As I've been out of it for 2 years and I sit back and watch, I feel the same disbelief that I just heard in your voice, but there's so many people who believe that he really wants the best for this country and that aren't seeing, for whatever reason, that he really just wants the best for himself.
I think it's also important to highlight, though, what we're seeing on the ground, because, he had this rally in Waco, Texas on Saturday. The former president did. There were a lot of people there. There was a lot of enthusiasm around it. So when we hear, a lot of Republicans, not a lot, but Republicans who predict, Trump's influence over the party is fading, it's clearly still there. This was the message Trump had for his supporters in Waco.
And 2024 is the final battle. That's going to be the big one. Our enemies are desperate to stop us because they know that we are the only ones who can stop them. All of the hatred, rage, and contempt the radical left has for you and your values and this nation has been very much directed on me. Either the deep state destroys America or we destroy the deep state. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way.
Does that kind of messaging work, though, with Republican voters still?
Yeah, I mean, it does work. And I think the thing to keep in mind, and I'll say this to my fellow, Republicans and Christians, is beware of false prophets. And I mean that very sincerely, because what you have now is this kind of Trump as Jesus movement, I'm calling it, where it's like, there are people comparing, Jesus being crucified and rising again in 3 days to this allegation from Alvin Bragg. And I'm serious. This is like what's happening out there. And so, it's very effective. I mean, half of the Texas delegation has already endorsed Donald Trump. I say this to all my friends that are like, hey, Trump is going to go away. Like, there has been this constant hope for 6 years or longer that there's going to be some magical unicorn that comes down from heaven that's going to sweep Trump off the field so nobody has to personally attack him. Only like Liz Cheney, myself, and a few of us are the ones that ever have to speak out because something's going to come down and do it. It's not going to happen until you speak out. Ron DeSantis is not going to roll in and magically save this without attacking Donald Trump. It's just the reality. And, man, the country, and particularly my party, is at real threat by this right now.